Alright, so today we're going to see some nice use cases for Flexbox. So first, we can use Flexbox with navigation. You can create pretty much every navigation bar you want because you can put some spaces between elements, you can center everything, or you can put everything on the left or on the right. So for every example, I will just show you the code. So there is 3 nav bar right there, okay, with a nav and a little icon and a list right there. So with every nav, we just have a background white and a height of 70 pixels. And every time you are just playing with Flexbox, and you can put some space between the element with justify content space between. So it's the first example, and you can just use align items every time because it will just align on the y-axis, which is pretty useful actually. And you can center on x and y, so on the main axis and the cross axis when everything is on a row like that. And you can put everything on the left or the right. And to do that, okay, it's the third nav, and you just use justify content start, and it will put it at the left of the row actually. Okay, so then we are going to see a responsive gallery, and you will see that it's pretty easy to do. So what is a responsive gallery? Well, if you shrink your screen, it will just adapt perfectly. So don't worry if you see a scroll bar right there, it's because I have some non-responsive content right there, okay? So to build a responsive gallery, it's pretty easy with Flexbox. You just need a few lines of code. So this is our gallery with every item inside and some images inside the item. And you just need a display flex, justify content center to center everything on the main axis. And the most important is flex wrap. It will just wrap the element when there is no width, okay? When there is no more width to display the element, it will wrap it on the other line, and it's really, really useful. And then you will put some width 80% and max width of 1300 pixels, and you will have that kind of border on the side because of the width and max width. Okay, so it's pretty useful. In like 10 lines of code, you can build something really nice like that. Okay, so now the most famous maybe usage of Flexbox is just to center on X and Y. And it's really, really nice. You don't need to play with position absolute or some line height or thing like that. You can just play with, look, a container and just a div inside. And I've just put some display flex, justify content center, align items center, and it's centered on the X and Y. And yeah, it's pretty useful. You can also just center on Y or just on X. It's just as you want. Then with some button, it's exactly the same. You can center everything really easily inside. No need for line height or some padding, weird padding or weird techniques like that. You just need to use Flexbox again. So yeah, we do have a button with a span and the image and a paragraph and the text. And for the span, actually, I just use display flex, align center, justify center, you know, okay. And for the text, I just use inline flex because when you put display flex, it's like under the hood, it's like putting display block flex. So if you want an element to be inline and to use Flexbox, you can put the inline flex value right there. Okay, and yeah, you can just align items to center on the y-axis again. And yeah, pretty useful for little stuff like button, icon, or thing like that. Okay, so then I will show you some layout examples. So also this is pretty nice with Flexbox, pretty easy to do. So we do want some square, okay, on the left and right, which will have 150 pixels, okay, on each side. And the center will be responsive. If we reduce our container, only the center will get reduced, will shrink actually. So we just have a container with 3 items. okay? And we just need to put a flex grow 0 on A1 and A3, so this one and this one, and a flex grow of 1 on the center element, okay? And it will just take all the place in the center like that. Okay, great. So then you can create easily something like that too, some column, okay? So how do you play with column with Flexbox? Okay, so we do have all the items right there, and you just need to put flex direction column. So it will reverse the axis, the main axis and the cross axis. So don't forget that justify content and align items will act not the same as if it was a row, okay? If it's a row, justify content will handle the x-axis, and if it's column, it will handle the y-axis, okay? And same thing for align items. If it's a column, it will handle actually the x-axis. And if it's a row, it will handle the y-axis. And yeah, you can create some column stuff like that, like a menu or thing like that. Really simple, actually. Okay, and the last element, sometimes you want to put something like alone at the end or at the beginning of a Flex container like that. And yeah, it can be hard to do, but if you know the trick, it's pretty easy. You just need to use some margin. So look. Inside there, I have my 3 items, and just for the D1 right there, I've put margin right auto, okay? And look, it will just create automatically a margin right there, just to fill the empty space. And yeah, it will push everything at the end. So what if you want this one, okay, the last to be alone at the end, you see, there, sorry, you need to put margin left auto. And look, it will just fill this with margin. You can inspect it, and you will see that it just filling with margin, and so everything is pushed at the left, and our item is at the end actually. Okay, so that was some use cases for Flexbox. It's really useful. You need to really handle Flexbox and to know how to use it, because you use it basically everywhere on your site or web application or thing like that, because every time you need to center something or to create some responsive things or even some layout, you always need Flexbox or CSS Grid actually, but CSS Grid is for more advanced layout, okay? If you want some simple layouts and just to center on X and Y, you can use Flexbox. Okay, so like, subscribe, and see you next time. Ciao.